They say a house is made of walls and beams. A home is made of hopes and dreams. But what happens when the dreams you remember aren't the ones that truly lived there? What if the silence you thought was judgment was actually a language you never learned to speak? My father left me a key to a locked box, but it wasn't just wood and iron he was asking me to open. It was my entire life. Before we unlock this box together and discover the truth hidden inside, if you believe that some stories are more than just entertainment, that they're a way to understand ourselves and the people we love, then please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. Hit the like button to show you're with us on this journey, and let us know in the comments about a time a simple object held a universe of meaning for you. Your stories are the heart of this community. My name is David. In the ecosystem of my family, I was a creature of the shade. My sister, Clara, was a creature of the sun. She was brilliant, a high-powered attorney, a woman who moved through the world with an effortless grace. I was an artist. I moved through the world and tried not to be seen at all. Our father, an engineer who built bridges that could withstand a hurricane, saw life in blueprints and certainties. Clara, with her scholarships and courtroom victories, was a masterpiece of design. I, with my charcoal-smudged hands and canvases that sold for just enough to buy more canvas, was a variable he couldn't solve for. I remember in high school, we both had projects due. Clara built a flawless scale model of the Golden Gate Bridge, a marvel of precision that earned her an award. My father displayed it on the mantelpiece. I had spent a month on a single, moody oil painting of our backyard at dusk. When I showed it to him, he looked at it for a long, silent moment and just said, "Don't get paint on the carpet, son." That was the language he spoke to me, a language of omissions. When he passed away, the funeral was a reflection of our two worlds. Clara delivered a eulogy so perfect, so moving, it brought the church to tears. I stood in the back, a ghost at the feast, unable to find the words to describe a man who, to me, was a collection of quiet rooms. The will reading was the final, expected chapter. The house, the stocks, the business he'd built it all, went to Clara. It was his final, logical calculation. And then, the last line. "To my son, David," the lawyer read, "I leave the wooden box in my study. It holds the only thing of value I have to give you." Clara looked at me, her eyes full of a pity that stung more than any anger could have. A box of trinkets, a final, quiet dismissal. That night, I went to his study. The room smelled of him old leather, pipe tobacco, and something that was just Dad. The box sat on his desk, small, dark, and heavy with the weight of a lifetime of questions. I turned the key. The lock made a sound like a sigh. Inside, there was no jewelry, no hidden cash, just the faint, musty smell of forgotten time, and a stack of old 8mm film reels, and a small, battered projector. I threaded the first reel. The machine's clatter was a sudden heartbeat in the silent room. An image flickered onto the wall, a sun-drenched birthday party. A little boy, me, with paint on his cheeks, tearing open a gift. It was a beautiful wooden easel, a professional set of paints. I had no memory of it. I heard a voice from behind the camera, a low, gentle rumble. "Look at that, Martha," my father was saying to my mother. "He's got the eye." For hours, I watched. My life, replayed not through the lens of my own lonely memories, but through his. There I was, at my first t-ball game, running the wrong way. The camera was shaking, and for the first time, I could hear the sound clearly. My father was laughing. A deep, joyful belly laugh I didn't know he possessed. There I was in a terrible middle school play. He had been there, filming from the back row. He was always there, the silent cameraman of my childhood. If this story is resonating with you, if you've ever felt the weight of unspoken words in your own family, please take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We're building a community here for people who understand that the most powerful stories are the ones etched on the heart. Let us know in the comments about a time a small discovery changed your entire perspective on a person you loved. Your story matters here. Then I found a reel labeled Gallery 2018, my first solo show. the one he never came to. My hands trembled as I threaded it. The film was dark, panning across my paintings. Then, for a single, heart-stopping second, it caught a reflection in the glass of a frame. A man, standing behind a pillar at the very back of the room, his hands clasped behind his back, his posture stiff. It was him. He had been there. He had seen it all, hiding in the shadows, witnessing his son's quiet triumph, unable to bridge the silence that he himself had built. The last reel was the one that broke and remade me. Clara's tire, a teenage Clara, frustrated, trying to change a flat, and my father's voice, clear as day. "You need to know how to do this, honey," he said. "You need to be strong. The world isn't always kind to boys like your brother. He sees things differently. He feels things more. That's his gift. Your gift is your strength, and you're going to have to be strong enough for both of you sometimes." It wasn't a judgment. It was a shield. His relentless praise of Clara wasn't a rejection of me. It was him forging my protector. The man who built bridges had been building one between us all along, and I had been too blind to see the design. I sat in the dark, my face wet with tears, the projector's light illuminating the dust motes, dancing in the air like a million tiny, beautiful ghosts. I called my sister. My voice was hoarse. "Clara, can you come over?" She arrived in her usual armor of business-like concern, ready to solve whatever problem her wayward brother had created. I didn't say a word. I just gestured to his old leather couch. We sat, and I played the films. I watched her as she saw our childhood through our father's eyes. I saw her flawless composure crack as she heard his words, as the weight of the secret duty he had given her was finally spoken aloud. We sat there in the quiet, in the flickering light, and we cried. We cried for the silent man we had both loved so fiercely and understood so poorly. We cried for the brother and sister who had been separated by a silence that was never truly silent. We cried for the lost years. The box held the greatest inheritance of all. Not money, not property. It held the truth. It held context. It held the Rosetta Stone to deciphering the quiet, aching, and beautiful language of a father's love. The greatest treasures we're left with aren't the ones we can hold in our hands. They're the truths that finally set us free. If this story touched you, please let it be a bridge. Like the video and subscribe to our community. And in the comments, share a story about a time you misunderstood someone you loved. Let's fill the silence with our stories. Welcome to the family.